Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we have a Smackdown review here for the 12th. Smackdown is actually one of the shows that I watch every week, but sometimes if I'm gonna miss a review, this is the one I miss. Just because I hit my weekend, and for whatever reason, it's just so hard to record it right afterwards. So let's just jump into this. So it was Lesnar starting off the show. I don't think the crowd really was behind him. I mean, they were chanting at him, and I think like most people, they just really don't know what the make of him being back, so it makes it a little bit more rough. But then R-Truth comes down in one of the most weird promos. They just kept saying the same stuff back and forth to each other. Like it wasn't bad, but if they had said it just once, but it felt like they were just filling up a bunch of time for really no reason. I don't really know. This was definitely one of the more confusing and weird starts of the show. I put it down in C. It was okay. Like I said, it would have been entertaining if they just didn't just keep recycling. Like he kept asking him who he was and all that type of stuff. It's like funny the first time, but then when you say it again, it's just kind of weird. It's like almost like somebody missed a cue to do it, so they had to wrap back around. I'm not really sure. It was a little odd. But yeah, just talking about Brock Lesnar in general, it's one of those things that I really don't know. Like if they brought him back for John Cena and that's what they wanted to do, I guess it makes sense. But I'm not a big fan of just him being here in general. I don't think it really matters. I'll put it in C. It don't really matter to me. Next up, we had the U.S. Open Challenge thing for Sami Zayn. I like the idea. Give something Sami Zayn to do. The only problem with it is it's just going to be a lot of battles where Sami Zayn's just going to be giving a bunch to the other guy and then having to make the comeback at the very end. It's not the worst thing, but it's going to get old fast. Luckily, in this one, this match was really good. I don't really wish that they would kind of tell you about this. Like, obviously, Ray Phoenix was we found out about it this time, but the next fight we already know about in advance. And I feel like just kind of having the spur of the moment thing is kind of the better option. But this match absolutely cooked. They both did pretty good. Ray Phoenix was on some top shit right there. He was doing everything he could to make this match, a lot, because I think maybe the outside news of seeing that Eldrade's gone or has left the company maybe put Ray Phoenix in a weird spot because now he doesn't have a tag team partner. So he's like, I got to go back to singles option. So I really got to show out. And I think he definitely did. Sami Zayn's title run is going to be pretty solid if he can have banger after banger after banger, which he might do because you have Carmelo next. He has Phoenix here. He started off with John Cena. This could low key be a great title run, even though he doesn't have to really have any feuds because of just how crazy some of these matchups could be because they don't have to have any type of story to them. So I'll put up an A. It was a good solid U.S. title defense. Then we had Julia just kind of randomly be picking on BFAB and having a match that never came to be. She just kind of beat her, and then Meacham came in for the save. This whole thing was just to set up a rematch for Meacham, was just kind of wild and stupid. I don't know what they're doing with this title. They have such a good person with Julia as the title holder that they're really not knowing what they're doing, especially with the IC title being kind of on the women's side brought up to a special level because of it being on Becky Lynch and being part of this fame. This other title needs to be where other people can be getting opportunities, but it's the same three or four people just hovering around this title for the last year, and it's just not fun. I'm gonna put this down in D. The match never started, so it's a pretty easy one to just throw on the bottom. Next up, we had the WWE Championship, Women's Championship match. It was Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. This match absolutely cooked. I think both of them showed a lot of growth from their match from SummerSlam, and I think that did really good. That pop up drop kick that Tiffany did is just stellar. I want to see more of that because I think Tiffany definitely has it in her warehouse, and I think sometimes she gets kind of pulled back because of a lot of the people that she faces. She doesn't have that ability to go after like that, but they need to give her more opportunities to do stuff like that because it was absolutely amazing. So I put this up in A tier. It ended up in a double count out. Not actually too upset with that. It had Nia Jax come down there and destroy both of them, which is probably going to lead to a triple threat for WrestlePalooza if they decide to, because there's definitely lacking some big matches, on the women's side of things on that card. So this could definitely be the thing that they put in there. Plus, it would allow Tiffany to have a pretty solid match, or if they wanted to make a change, Tiffany could not have to be the one that takes the pin. So all of it seems pretty decent. And then we had a backstage segment with Dom and Finn Balor and Finn Balor's wife. Like they all were talking about Triple Mania, which would end up being a pretty good card, and all Worlds Collide. It's not Triple Mania. I forgot Worlds Collide. I'll have a review up for that too today. So if you want to check that out. And yeah, it was a pretty solid promo. They just talked about Finn Balor not helping him out and stuff, which ends up being a lie, but I thought it was pretty decent. I'll put it up an A. Wasn't anything too crazy, just kind of a little thing to get that little advertisement to show that, like, hey, yeah, Worlds Collide's on after this. I'm glad they stacked them too. Then we get Sami Zayn and Carmelo. Carmelo's next. I think that's kind of a cool idea. Like I said, I just kind of wish some of these will be a surprise. So even if it's like one's not, one is, I'm fine with that. But let's just hope that this is the last one that we know for a while. I just like having the randomness, which makes the match even better. I have high hopes for this match, so I'm going to put it up in S tier. Then we finished off the show. It was Drew and Orton. Kind of a crazy match just to have like on a random SmackDown, like the star power in it, just the such big main eventers and stuff. But I actually thought it was a pretty solid match. There was a lot of vintage Orton. I think Drew McIntyre did really good. I think everything sat up pretty good, and I was really surprised when Drew won relatively clean. Obviously, then he attacks Orton, and more stuff happens after that. So I'll put the match in a solid A. I felt like the matches here were pretty good quality. Like, that's the crazy part with SmackDown. Like, normally SmackDown kind of struggles in areas, but they just kind of struggled in all their like weird decision makings. But if they just kind of stuck the course, this would have been a better show. Then we had Cody Rhodes return to challenge Drew at WrestlePalooza. We kind of knew this was going to happen. This wasn't like a shocking return, but it was still good to see Cody coming down, and I'll put that up in S because that is a pretty hype match. It would be pretty interesting what they do with it. And Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, I think, would have a pretty decent feud that could possibly last multiple PLEs because of just how big of star power it is. So kind of interesting to see that. And yeah, that was pretty much SmackDown. I'd probably give SmackDown altogether a B. Like I said, the matches were pretty good except for the Julia match because I just don't know why they didn't do it. It would have been better if she just rocked her and like won in like a minute or two than not even getting to the match, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense when stuff like that happens. Like, oh, they beat her ahead of time, and then sometimes matches start, sometimes matches don't start, and you still would have to do the job either way. So I don't really know why they did that and made it that decision. But I think overall, I'd still say it was a pretty solid show. A B is pretty good, especially for SmackDown. That's like an A minus on the curve if you think about it with some of the shows that they've had here. Raw and NXT and even Evolve sometimes have way better shows in the week than SmackDown does for whatever reason. But yeah, until next time, this has been Japan. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys!